Right, hello again. Some changes have been happening, not massive ones, but I've got 1,000 subscribers now. Isn't that lovely? Round of applause for me. More so for you. Please don't unsubscribe, because then I'll have said this on my channel and then I'll go back to 990 subscribers, and that would be sad. Anyway, again, disclaimer before we start. My glasses have lens flare. Deal with it, I need sight. So I'm here to talk to you today about what I'm doing with my summer. As you're probably aware, when you're at university, you have really long summer holidays, the same as when you finish A-levels. And I had a really nice long summer last year, but I did get a bit bored and I wasn't very productive. So this summer I decided to do something a bit different. And if you follow me on other forms of social media, which you should, then you might know that I'm actually doing Camp America this summer, which is so exciting and so terrifying. I've spoken to a lot of people who've done it before and everyone seems to love it though, so I'm sure it will be a-okay. So basically, this video is going to chat you through how I got to do what I'm doing this summer and what I am actually gonna be doing. So to start off, I have been hired as the head of the drama department of a camp in West Virginia, a girls' camp actually, and I am so freaking excited. I actually can't wait. I've been planning sort of the activities I want to do, a bit of musical theatre maybe, a bit of straight drama, some accents perhaps. I am low-key a bit scared about the differences in sort of language, even though it's only America, just because like I've already discovered like mattress topper in the UK is egg crate. What? Like, doesn't make sense. So yeah, slightly concerned, but I'm sure it'll be fine. So my camp is actually like really outdoorsy. I know a lot of people go to sort of like day camps and stuff, but I never really wanted to go to a day camp. Although you get more time off, it's not sort of the camp experience that I wanted. So I am going full rustic. To get into my camp you have to go over a river on a barge, and I'm going to be living in a platform tent. So it's basically like wooden floor raised off the ground with tent sides that you can like roll up and down, but with proper beds, thankfully. Yeah, I wasn't always the best like camper, but this is different. This is like a low-key glamping version of camping. Well, that's what I'm telling myself. So I've been doing so much organising and packing, and I've done a whole video about getting visas, so I'll upload that at some point and maybe touch on it briefly in this video. But back to the very beginning, my sister actually did Camp America when she was my age, so it's been something I've wanted to do since I saw her do it. She went to a Jewish camp in Ohio actually, so completely different camps, completely different roles, but I'm hopeful the experience will still be pretty good. So I created my online application way before Christmas now actually, but you can still apply now if you want to. You can literally get hired tomorrow, which I would highly recommend. Do something reckless. So yeah, I created my online profile, uploaded a cheeky little video about like why you should hire me, and I had quite a few interviews with different camps. Some of them offered me the job, some of them didn't. But I had decided that I wanted to go to a recruitment fair in Manchester. They do a lot of these recruitment fairs around the country. Basically you go in with a bunch of other applicants and you run to camps and say, this is why you should hire me, please hire me. Luckily I'd done an interview with a Camp America interviewer before that, which made the whole process smoother, so I'd highly recommend doing that. But yeah, I rocked up to the Manchester recruitment fair really prepared. I had all of these lists of camps and their names lined out and who was hiring for drama, who was hiring for media and stuff. It was not as easy as I thought it was going to be. I was so stressed. I walked in the room and I had priority like access, but I walked in the room and it was full of people queuing, and I went straight to some of my camps, and on their little board it just didn't say they were hiring for what they said they were going to hire for on their website. So I was like, what do I do now? And then some other camps I wanted to go to that were hiring for roles I was interested in had lines of like 20 people, And I was just kind of like, do I wait in a line of 20 people, or do I go to a camp with no line and just get hired there? Because what if I queue up for half an hour here and then I just don't get hired? So I found it really stressful in that regards. It was a stressful situation. I was so prepared, but I think my issue was I was going for quite a difficult role to get. Drama counsellors are harder ones to come by. Not all camps do drama, whereas other people who had roles in like horse riding, you were pretty much going to guaranteed get hired at whatever camp you wanted. So that was something that I dealt with. But then I came across this little camp called Camp Allegheny, and I was like, I recognise that name. And I looked at my list, and it was on my list. It was near the bottom, but it was on my list. And so I sat down and I talked to the guy who was sitting there with another English girl who'd been at their camp. Had a little chat, and it was really, really nice. And he was like, well, I'd like to hire you. And I was like, what? And he was like, as head of the entire drama department. And I was like, what? And I can't lie, I panicked. I was envisaging living in cabins and, you know, not as much of a rustic camp. But I said, can you give me a minute? And he was like, okay, I'll give you a minute, but if someone else comes along who's better, like, I have to give them the job. And I was like, fair enough, I am panicking. So I went away for a couple seconds and I was like, what do I do? What do I do? And I had about 5 different people who I knew at this fair at the same time. So I was like, what do I do? And they were like, are you crazy? Take that job. And I was like, I'm an idiot. Why didn't I just take it in the first place? So I went back and I took the job and I got my little placed wristband and had a photo and was like, oh my god, what am I doing? I'm going to live in a tent for my summer in the West Virginia mountains. Which at first, yeah, I was terrified, but now I am so flipping excited to get started. I can't even explain. It's going to be so excited. I am slightly terrified though, can't lie. So then after I was hired, then it was a lot of forms, specifically medical forms and visa forms. Visa forms take up a lot of ink, but just get it right first time round and you'll sail through, get your visa, check that box off. And then the other day I went to an orientation in Manchester where they basically just hyped us up about going to camp. And now it's about a month until I leave. But I'm so excited at the same time. I can't emphasise that enough. I think the reason I'm more stressed is just because I have 2 exams on the 7th of June, which is the last possible day my uni are allowed to give us exams in exam season. So I've got 2 exams on that day, and then I fly on the 8th of June. So I am finishing my exams, packing my flat room up and going on down to Heathrow and catching my flight to Washington DC. I'm also quite bummed because there are 3 other British girls going to my camp, which some people who are placed might be like, only 3? Because a lot of camps hire like a lot of international staff. Including a lot of British staff. My camp only hire about 15 international staff and only 4 of us are British, and I am one of them. So yeah, that's a stressful thing, but it's going to be so exciting. I've done a huge Primark shop of all of the like uniform bits I need, because my camp does have a uniform for like different times of the day, and then in the middle of the day you can sort of wear what you want. I've sent off a plan for what I want to do with my department to go in like their brochure. Oh my god. Yeah, I am mostly just sitting in my room thinking about what I'm gonna teach the kids and lesson plans and other things like that instead of revising for my imminent university exams. Whoops. Sorry for that brief interlude, had to go and cheese up my pasta bake. I mean, really, there's not that much else in the process. It's pretty simple to be able to just go and spend 3 months living in America. I only have to work at my camp for about 2 months, and then you get 30 days travelling afterwards. But I've not planned any of the travelling. I just want to go and meet new people and then travel with them and see what happens, which is a little bit stressful. I feel like, you know when Harry, aka Colin Firth in Mamma Mia 2 is like, I'm a spontaneous person, when he's really not? That's me. Another reason that I'm making this video actually is I am a Camp America storyteller. I think I've mentioned this briefly in another video, or maybe I haven't, I can't remember. There's been a lot of unuploaded videos, but basically Camp America have asked me to sort of document my journey, my adventure, my travels across my social media platforms, including here, as well as my Twitter and my Instagram. So go over and follow me on those platforms, please. I'm pretty sure that's all I have to say, to be quite honest. I hope you enjoyed this rather short video. I've got more videos in the pipeline that should be coming at you anytime soon. And for now, so long. Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. A goodbye. So lame.